like you. So yeah, let's give it a hand.
Yeah, they started good. Ready?
I'm gonna like not. Okay. Woo! All right. Two. Okay. Yeah. All right. So hi, I'm Kelly. I'm from the lab, and today I'm going to talk to you about two which demonstrate how critical context is. The first is a feedback in my project, and the second is one that was on the last one, catalog, and it's one that we're seeing. So we've learned that even if the work is everything, you have interviews, focus group discussions, surveys, talk to people. You might be asking the right questions, but you framed wrongly or use the wrong qualities, you may miss the real picture. Deep-rooted issues requires. Our beneficiary feedback mechanism project here took place in Pennsylvania, where we thorough beneficiaries that showed high levels of and use of access to mobile, very stable GSM network, and a high willingness. However, soon after the project began, we noticed mobile-based approaches were very low level feedback, whereas analog and person high. But we had asked these questions, and it differed with one of them. So we had underestimated the politics of gender and power, especially when women are asked to give sensitive information to health. We heard very little from the women who were able to reach the full approach, and it wasn't because we didn't have impact. So the partner and us adapted the project, scaled back on mobile, and scaled up on other types of low-tech centers, group discussions, more. By the end of the project, we were 80% feedback, tends to be low-tech, and the majority of SMLs are men. So that brings us to our next project. Vanuatu, a small island in 2006, had an earthquake, a volcano, and these events devastated the country, but they're not foreign here. Vanuatu is at-risk in the world for natural hazards. It's also a country where indicators for women's participation in decision-making are some of the worst in the world, with 0 women in the national parliament and strong cultural norms that public decision-making as a male domain. Plus, we know that in disasters, women are like die. And the Women's Resilience Index found that pre-existing gender inequalities contribute. So you have a disaster-prone nation, a complete lack of strength, and women being by disasters equals a real challenge. With using systems thinking, women-centered design, groundwork, and support the project, we could create a program to outcomes and so we jumped on board with ActionAid Australia, who in response to Cyclone 2015 set up these forums women where they would convene women where the women could voice their gender largely and humanitarian responders. And these groups continued far after humanitarian responders left, and they're still up and running. Right now, over 4,000 women get together in these groups, and they gather the groups talk about women's rights, disaster prevention, leadership, community, etc. And we saw the groups as a really great foundation on which we build a larger disaster response program. So this is the full system. I'd be happy to talk about it in depth later, but really what you need to see here is a multi-channel approach, all being a variety of tools, satellite, mobile, radio, and communication, plus women's involvement throughout the entire cycle. And then 2 major components that we had to think about to create a context-sensitive, relevant project are information and communication habits assessment to ensure that we properly understand and building off the context assessment, working with the women to co-create that thing. So what this actually looks like in practice is working with the focus group. We'd undertake a gender-sensitive context assessment, see what women use to communicate, what they prefer, what they have access to, and bring what works in the aftermath of it. We'd implement different open-ended methodologies, like digital data scripts that were not our assumptions, and we'd work with women to teach them basic data collection skills. They begin feeding this data into the government. Women would update information that they could their plans, and next, the data that women sent in would be aggregated together and form a company, so that over time you not only ensure that communication channels are accessible and well functioning, but you'd also know that the information is as close to real as possible. Obviously, baseline trusted delay. So this map is a example of an incoming SMS report. Women's locations would be 3 maps so that we know where structured SMS were coming in, and the government would act to send aid to those specific areas. Yes. And let's see, data would be structured and fed into a decision-friendly dashboard to align aid with on the ground, to also communicate back with, to give women a life link. They know they're being listened to, and they can be given other stuff. Anyways, we believe that this can create a paradigm shift in humanitarian aid involving local communities in data collection and challenging allocation for first responders. And this is just a little bit of the work that we're doing on context assessment. We're creating a framework, and it'll be out shortly. And if you